Nigerian football fans everywhere, let me be the judge. So today's video we'll be talking about Maduka Okoye versus Okonkwo. Who should we look at as number 2 or even maybe number 1 for the Nigerian Super Eagles going into the playoffs, going into the World Cup qualifier, going into the World Cup itself if the team is successful in those playoff games versus Gabon and then hopefully Cameroon or DRC Congo, and as well going into the AFCON, because we can all agree that Stanley Wabali needs competition, whether or not you rate him, whether you don't rate him, whether you've looked at how he's performed and how he's behaved through the last couple of games, whether you're happy with it, whether you're indifferent, whether you're in support of how he's behaved. One thing is certain, I'm sure you would agree, that Stanley Wabali needs competition. He needs to look over his shoulder and feel like there's someone that can take my plate off this table, so I have to come up with my A game every single time I step up on the pitch for the Nigerian Super Eagles. So now Okonkwo is one last season, that's the 2024-2025 season. He kept 18 clean sheets, and this season he's kept 1 clean sheet in 8 games I think played. And we got Maduka Okoye. He had his issues with the whole betting thing, gambling thing, match fixing, issues and all those kind of things, but now that's all cleared. He's now back in goal even for Udinese Serie A side, so top marks for him in that regard, that he's cleared out, he's done with all that. Now both goalkeepers are 6'6" tall, so they're both giants. And one thing I would say is Okonkwo hasn't had the opportunity to represent Nigeria. Maduka Okoye has, and in fact he should have been the number 1 prior to Stanley Wabali if we really look at it closely, right? You had Uzoho, and then he was the one competing alongside Uzoho, but for each moment he had his opportunity to step in goal, he would always make a mistake here or there. At least for his keenest supporters, one thing you must admit, Nigerian football fans out there, is that he didn't really take the opportunity to make that number 1 spot his own. While on the other hand, Okonkwo hasn't had the opportunity to do so. So for me, I'm thinking maybe give Okonkwo the chance. But when I look at the 2 goalkeepers, Amos Abasoge and Adeleye, are they really competition for Stanley Wabali? I think maybe you give Okonkwo and Maduka Okoye a call up to Nigerian Super Eagles. Now you may say maybe for the playoffs you don't want to have them there, but you can have them there still, because let's face it, Amos Obasogie and Adeleye will not be playing in those games, so maybe you just have those 2 and begin to integrate at least the likes of Okonkwo into the Nigerian system, and then reintegrate Maduka Okoye into the Nigerian football system. And then when you get in towards the AFCON, you set up some friendly matches, get to play those friendly matches, and let them start each half if possible. But one thing is certain, you must send a message to Stanley Wabali to say, come on, my man, you are not the only one, you're not the king of the man or anymore. You must bring your A game. If you don't bring your A game, someone else will take your place, someone else will take your spot. And which other way can you send such a message up except but you invite the likes of Maduka Okoye, Okonkwo, have them in there. I wanted Noah Tubulu at some stage, but right now I think he's been called up for Germany already. I think did he play a couple of minutes or so? I'm not quite sure, but I know he was called up for Germany in this past international break. So right now he's already in the senior German system, and let's see how it shakes out for him. But we have these 2 goalkeepers that are already willing, able, and indeed available to play for the Nigerian Super Eagles. So if you let me be the judge of this one, I would have both of them invited into the national team with the ever so slight advantage to Okonkwo. That season he had Wrexham, 18 clean sheets is absolutely mad by any standard. So let me know your opinions about this in the comment section. Who would you go for, Okonkwo or Maduka Okoye? Nigerian Super Eagles fans, let me know. At this point, I've come to the end of this video. I know probably this is short and sweet, but I'll see you on yet another video. Stay well and definitely stay blessed. Bye bye.